premiums are ridiculously cheap in your 20s and they're tax deductible. So getting them now while you're young, fit and healthy is the obvious thing for you to do. Hey guys, Paul Raymond here from Ask Paul. So what we're going to do in this video is give you the 5 best things you can spend your money on in your 20s. Let's have a look. Education and human capital. This means investing in you, as in yourself, before investing your money in anything else like Bitcoin, stock market, etc. A lot of people reach out to us here at Ask Paul saying, you know, 22, 21, 18, whatever the age is, young enough people, saying they have X amount of money saved, gifted, inherited, whatever it is, and we'll always ask them what they're doing career-wise, and are they set up to do something that they want to do for the rest of their life or can potentially make a lot of money out of doing. If the answer is no, and they're on minimum wage or in a job they hate, we'll always say take that money, retrain, re-educate yourself, and try and get yourself up the income ladder. Give you an example here. If you're on maybe, just for argument's sake, 20, 22, 25k or even 30k, and you think that if you went back to do the Masters, the PhD, or you went to retrain in something else completely different over the next 3 to 5 years even, and you could end up on 50 grand, that might be 20 grand more a year in your back pocket, but every decade, that's 200 grand more earnings. And over 30 years, obviously that's 600 grand more in your back pocket compared to, you know, staying where you are and stuck in that rut type of thing. So I'm always going to say, if you're in your 20s, the best thing you can invest in and the best thing you can do for your money is probably to invest in yourself first to make sure your ability to earn an income goes up. The next thing I'm going to say is, if you are in a career you love and if you're doing really, really well and you're in your 20s, get an investment account. Start investing sooner rather than later. If you have loads of things sorted in your finances, as you have an emergency fund, a bit of income protection in place, you know, you have savings for short-term expenses over the next 2 to 3 years, or 1 day to 3 years, then you should probably look at an investment account or even a pension. A pension is going to give you massive tax relief and really give you a situation where from your 20s to your 60s you can earn a lot of tax back, tax relief, tax-free growth, and ultimately be probably the biggest wealth builder you're ever going to find. So investment and pensions, but once everything else is sorted. I can't stress that enough. If you're lucky enough in your 20s, I'm going to say late 20s here, guys, and not too early in your 20s. You're going to be straddling yourself with a mortgage and maybe being restricted in what you can do. But if you can buy a property for yourself, if you have enough savings and you have a deposit, you're lucky enough to maybe have a windful of money for maybe, you know, a gift or inheritance, or maybe you sold something, or, you know, business-wise, you just did really, really well in work. And if you can get a deposit together, and remember, for first-time buyers, there's the Help to Buy, where the government will give you a 10% deposit as well, up to a maximum of €30,000. Really, really, really important that if you can get into a property and rent a room when you mightn't have a partner yet, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, or you mightn't have kids yet, if you can get into a 3-bed and rent 2 rooms out, you can earn 14 grand a year tax-free. This could mean that you could live rent-free, mortgage-free, or else it could mean that you can pay your mortgages normally and use that 14 grand tax-free to set up the investment account or go on the offense, whether it's for business-wise or whatever else you want to do. So I think it's a really, really good idea if you can afford to do it. We all have to live and enjoy our lives. Personal finance is all about balance. Keep saying this in all my video content. It's not about living a miserable life and putting all your money into future. It's about the now too. So take the time, just don't borrow for it, use your disposable cash. Take time, buy a plane ticket, jump on a plane, go anywhere in the world, especially if you're single or even your relationship with somebody you want to do it and knock yourself out. Obviously, trust me, when you get kids, it becomes harder and harder to do that stuff. So while in your 20s, if you're kid free, if you have got a partner, get on a plane, get around the world, see people, meet people, interact, and make contacts that will hopefully last you a lifetime. And last but not least, I want you to buy an insurance product. Okay, it might sound very salesy, but I literally want you to do that. Income protection is the #1 most important financial product you can have. Let's talk about financial products. Bank account's a financial product. Pension's a financial product. Mortgage, credit card, a personal loan, a car loan, they're all financial products. The one everybody in this country needs is an income protection product. It gets tax relief on the premiums, but it secures your income up to retirement age should anything go wrong, accident, sickness or illness that has you out of work the long term. Premiums are ridiculously cheap in your 20s and they're tax deductible. So getting them now while you're young, fit and healthy is the obvious thing for you to do. And they're way more important than an investment account or a pension account. There's no point in having 10, 15, 20 grand in an investment account or even 50 grand in a pension fund if you can't work anymore, because you can't access the pension until you're 60. So it's really, really practical advice. Take out the income protection product when you're really young, fit and healthy.